Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett joins me now. Mr. Prime Minister, thanks for the time. Well, first of all, just paint a picture, if you would, about the tension at home and what it's like in the region with this sort of Damocles hanging over your head about what Iran has threatened.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Before coming to this interview, I called up my wife and children and wanted to be sure that they're at home, near a shelter. We've got 10 million Israeli citizens that are hunkering down, waiting to be attacked. I think that's wrong, by the way. I think that we should not necessarily be waiting to be attacked. Iran is highly vulnerable, much weaker than people tend to think. And I think they need to understand that there's going to be such a huge price to be paid if they mess around with us.
What do you think the U.S. should be doing, is doing? There's a lot of talk about diplomacy and outreach, but what about Iran specifically?
Well, Iran is the center of all of the problems in the Middle East. It's sort of this global troublemaker of terror. That's what they do. They produce and export terror better than anyone else in the world. At the end of the day, I've come to a conclusion: we're going to need to topple the Iranian regime of mullahs, release the Iranian wonderful people of Iran, which are an amazing, free people, and that would release the whole world from this horrible regime. And I'm not talking about necessarily a military action. I'm talking about similar to the former Soviet Union, which was financially, socially, in many dimensions, ultimately it collapsed. Iran's regime is destined to collapse. It's rotten from within, corrupt, incompetent. But America, Israel, the West can help do this by applying massive financial sanctions.
Not to get into politics here, but that is one of the pitches of the former president, that his administration had its boot on the neck of Iran, and then it was essentially lifted by the Biden administration. Is that how you all see it in Israel?
Well, what we need to ensure is that this octopus of terror, whose head is in Tehran and its arms are all around the region and the world, by the way, they want to assassinate Americans in America, Iran. So by ultimately strangling that head of the octopus, cutting the head off, the whole octopus of terror goes away, and America is safe, Israel is safe, the world is safe. The best way to do it is through massive economic sanctions, diplomacy, and Israel can do what we need to do in the region. We are not asking America to send troops to fight the war. We'll do that job. But we do need America's back.
Has your job gotten tougher as sanctions, at least enforcing sanctions, has loosened?
Absolutely. When you relieve sanctions and billions of dollars enter this octopus of terror, it gives it more life. Yeah, and it becomes stronger.
We just heard Alex Hogan say Yahya Sinwar named as the political, essentially lead negotiator on anything going forward after the assassination of the Hamas leader. How can you negotiate with him?
We need to kill him. We need to kill him. We need to defeat Hamas and have them release the hostages. The way to do it is to tell the IDF, go ahead, go decimate Hamas, and the only way that they have an out is if they raise a white flag, release all 111 hostages, lay down their arms, and then we won't kill them. We'll deport them, put them on a ship, get them out of Israel, out of Gaza. That is the way I would take this.
And do you think, what does a post-war Gaza look like?
It looks like post-World War II Germany. Once you defeat the Nazis, the Hamas, then you can build a new Gaza for the Palestinians. Israel would retain security responsibility, but Gaza would govern themselves, using help from the Egyptians, from UAE, from Saudis. We don't want to govern Gaza, but we do want Gaza to not be again part of Hamas.
You expect an attack sometime in the next 24, 48 hours?
We do. As I said, I would not necessarily wait for them to attack us. I think preemption is very relevant here. I think Iran has a meaningful energy sector, which has a bunch of bottlenecks, and we should not be just waiting for them to attack us. We can preempt them. Again, I'm not currently the Prime Minister, but this is the sort of thing I would explore.
Well, it's very interesting. It's a tense time. Mr. Prime Minister, we appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.